and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Vita Luca, and I wasn't planning on doing this video, but I saw how much I've paid into my health insurance, and my video on the difference between Canadian and Czech insurance is quite, it got quite a bit of views compared to my other videos, and I thought, why not make some Americans cry today? I'm sorry, but I have to show you that what you pay is ridiculous. So let's get into this video. I'm with VisaPay. It's a public insurance. Once you're a permanent resident or a citizen, you have to have a public insurance that you pay into. So I have a private insurance and a public insurance right now at the moment because when I came out here as a long-term resident, I had to have a private insurance for 2 years. So I still have them. Not many doctors use them, and it's not as easy to go to a clinic with their insurance versus having VisaPay, because you literally you get your card scanned and then you get put into the line. So it's a lot easier to have the public insurance out here. But anyways, on my private insurance, I spent 1,500 Canadian dollars for it for 2 years. It covers, I think, about €1 million in emergency medical, in emergency dental, emergency OB/GYN, and that's all the emergencies you can have. And I think I also have something if I were to get pregnant, but I don't know. No, I don't. I don't have anything for that. I can't get pregnant on it. Or I can get pregnant on it and it will cover me, but it's not in the plan. And I can't be pregnant before I had it, which I'm not pregnant now, so it's fine. But anyways, so on that insurance, I probably spent a total of 1,000 Canadian dollars already on it. Not proud of that. So basically, I fainted in the metro, and because I wasn't on VisaPay, they just charged me normally, and then I had to claim back from my insurance company. So my ambulance bill was 5,000 crowns. That's about $250 Canadian dollars. And then I had $3,000 worth of treatments done. So 1,200 of that being for an IV, an intravenous fluid. Blood that was drawn, and I think that was it. I just had blood that was drawn. I got my blood pressure checked, which the doctor just told me that high blood pressure was always going to be my normal because he just wanted me to leave. And that was fine because I wanted to leave. And I fainted before. All I need was water. But because someone called an ambulance, I was forced to stay there and take the ambulance. Not happy with that. Didn't ask for an ambulance to be called. Anyways, I was just Voda. Get me Voda. All I need is Voda. No, yeah. My husband left me alone with 5 strangers and I couldn't see them. Anyways, that was on that. And then I also had severe stomach pains, which I charged to them as well. And I got x-rays, ultrasounds, everything all technically being taken out of pocket. But they got billed directly for that. So I don't know how much all of that cost. But I imagine it was a lot more than any of this just because this is a public insurance. They are going to have a discount. Your insurance companies also most likely have a discount. So even though you get $1 million bill back, your insurance company's probably not going to pay that full million, at all. They probably have a deal with the hospital and they're well, we pay X amount for CT scans. We pay X amount for this. We pay X amount for that. And then that's what they pay. Because I can't see them paying a $1 million bill. They're going to be bankrupt after 6 of you all end up with the same treatment. And mainly I'm doing this video from the guy who released his medical bill from COVID. Now, I didn't experience coronavirus. I didn't get sick with it at all. But a Czech person stated that all he paid was 69 crowns, which is $3-4. I'll maybe put the stuff here. Yeah, all he paid was $3 or $4 for it. And it was a copay into treatment. So originally the treatment would cost 6,000 crowns per thing, which $300-ish. And he just paid $4 to have it all. So there's your medical difference. But we're going to get into this. So for the year 2019, now I'll be honest, they are missing a lot of medical bills. And some of them they put into 2020 when they should be in 2019. Well, they're also missing my first dislocation of my shoulders. They don't have that in there at all. They don't have the ambulance that I took for that at all. Like, it's just not in their system. So for 2019, it looks like all I spent was 1,689 crowns and 95 crown cents, because this doesn't exist, but they still have the decimal and they don't have anything for it. Like, I don't know what it's called. Nothing. They don't have the coins for them. They used to have like a 0.5. It's just one. So I don't know why they have it, but we're going to just 0.95. Okay? So that's just a little shy of 100 Canadian dollars, 75-ish, 80-ish American dollars. 971.28 was for the chronic eye department. When I hit my head, I was taken to Nemocnice Krch by my cheerleading coach. Oh yeah, that's a video you guys don't know about. I was doing cheerleading. I hit my head. My teacher brought me in. And yeah, this was for the aftermath because I couldn't see properly out of my right eye. And so I went to the hospital for this. And they did some weird tests. Everything was fine. Though my vision couldn't center. Well, it would center, and then everything around the thing that was centered would be blurry. So I was like, I don't normally see like this. And they're like, well, you seem fine. In fact, you seem better on this eye than that eye. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. They tried to make me also read something. That was interesting because I can't read Czech. So I'm like, yeah, he took that away from me in 5 minutes. He was like, no, we won't have you do this test. You seem like you're fine. You make a foreigner read and check to see how their eyes are. It's not going to be proper anyways. And then I had 218 crowns and 67.67 for evoked visual, hearing, and cognitive potentials. That was just one of their specific tests, I'm guessing, that they did, because they set me up to a machine, and I just watched squares move. Though I don't know if they were moving or just, like, flashing a different picture, but it looked like they were moving, and I tripped out on it. And then 500 crowns for my shoulder, like, for my torso brace. That was 500 crowns. They don't have the ambulance for that. They don't have like the 4 x-rays that I got for that. They don't have the Polyclinica x-rays that I had to get for that. My first shoulder injury, I got about 5 x-rays for it. None of them are there. None of them. And now, for 2020, so far, up to the month of March, because I've been in my home since and haven't injured myself yet. I'm saying that because it's bound to happen. And my shoulder is supposed to have surgery done on it, so it's bound to happen. I spent 11,685 crowns and 0.92, which is roughly 491.24 American dollars. So far. And that is broken down into $363.95 for a targeted surgery exam, 35 crowns for an exam fee, $264.62 for a shoulder x-ray. This is when I dislocated my shoulder again in February. $266.64 for a shoulder x-ray, $336.60 for a targeted x-ray. I can't read what I wrote because I had to write it all down because it's on my phone, which I used to record on. So that's why if you ever have an issue with my camera quality, yeah, I need 1,000 subscribers and I'll buy a new camera. So if it's an issue, get people to subscribe. Yeah, so another targeted exam, and then 35 crowns for an exam fee. Oh, that would have been a target exam by a specialist in a hospital, because they just put me to orthopedics instead of putting me in through the emergency section, because they're like, you'll be faster here, we'll just hand you off. So that's what that is. A target exam by like a specialist in an emergency setting, and 1,000 crowns care-related due to taking over from an emergency professional. 873 for emergency care done by an emergency professional that had a 15-minute checkup, basically. I'm just summarizing this. And then 379 crowns and 7.07 for a ride to the hospital that was 7 kilometers. So that total is about 1,100 crowns for an ambulance ride that my public insurance pays. And I paid 5,000 crowns for that. And they like have that fee just like more than cut in half. Like they got a quarter of it. Then, and this is the kicker for all Americans watching this, 1,230 crowns and 50.52 for a CT exam with more scans and without contrast. And this was over like 30 scans or something. I don't know. It was with more scan over 30. Yeah, it said with more scan over 30 without contrast is only 1,200 crowns. That's like $60 for you guys. You guys pay thousands for that. My insurance pays $60. I don't know how much I would pay. I don't think it's that much. And then 350 crowns for performance of constitutional emergency care. I think that's when I had to go back to the hospital to have them give me a checkup. Because every time you go to the hospital, they're like, go to your policlinica and have a checkup. Like the following whatever. They'll give you a date and you go back for that. And then 180 crowns, 0.84 for an IV for someone who's over the age of 10. I was charged 1,200 crowns for that. My insurance pays 180, not even $12. Then 336.60 for a targeted exam by an anesthesiologist. I don't ever remember an anesthesiologist looking at me for anything, unless that was to put the IV in. But I'm pretty sure it was done by a nurse. All the times I've ever had an IV put in, pretty sure it was done by a nurse. And then 81.84 for an IV for someone over the age of 10. 1,000 for care related to taking over for an emergency professional. 6.414 for Novalgin. Don't know what that is. 14.14 for ondansetron Accord. Also don't know what that is. I have a feeling this is all the stuff that's just in an IV. And then 2.43 for a physiological solution of ViaFlow. Don't know what that is. This is all for my head injury. My second head injury that I had in January because I fell and then hit my head on the couch. Yeah, I get injured in really lame ways. Watch my video when I discuss my injuries. Like, you will see how stupidly I get injured. 800.73 for emergency care of 15 minutes, doing the whole checkup with the paramedics. 433.22 for a ride to the hospital of 8 kilometers, because this is when I got injured at my house and not at the metro station that's close to my house. And 200 crowns for a neck brace. There you go, $12 for a neck brace, 12 Canadian dollars. And I'm still going. 206 for performance of constitutional emergency. 281.94 for targeted surgery exams. So this is when they sent me back to the policlinica to be checked. 397.38 for a target exam with neurology. 30 crowns for an exam fee. 671.25 for a chest x-ray. 1,252.33 for a CT examination. And because this is my most expensive CT examination, for you Americans out there, that was $52.64 for a CT examination. Anyways, $195 for an x-ray of neck, throat, and spine, and $205 for an x-ray of the skull. So far, spent that $11,600 685 crowns, 0.92. And currently I pay 1,800 crowns a month for my insurance, which is roughly $75.67 a month goes into me paying for my insurance and to be insured. And so roughly yearly, that's 21,600 crowns or $907.99. And so far, I've already used more than half of that. But then the whole thing about there being a public insurance is that we all pay this small amount of money because you can't even tell me that that's anywhere near what you guys pay a year. Like Graham Stephan, okay, he pays the cheapest of his plans, and that's $250 a month. So if anyone's getting $75 a month for their insurance in the United States, like, hit me below. But the thing is, I pay nothing out of pocket. I don't have any fees. I don't have any deductibles. I don't have co-pays. Well, maybe for certain treatments. But even then, they're not going to be anywhere near what you guys pay. And this is from a system where everyone pays an amount based on their wage, because my husband pays like double what I do. And he doesn't use it. Well, he kind of does. But he doesn't use it like I use it. Nobody really uses it like I use it. And yeah, we all pay into a system, and everyone is covered because of it. Anyone who has that insurance gets covered. There's like 5 other insurances that you can have that are public. And then there's a bunch of private insurances that you can have as well. And they have different treatments for different things. Like they have specifically like pregnant private insurances where you can have like amazing treatment, apparently. At least that's what it seems like. They seem like it's like this premium thing, and you'll have like extreme care and everything if you want to go private, but then you can also fully do it public and also have great care. So it doesn't matter either way. I've had hits and misses with doctors in the Czech Republic. I've never really had an issue with any of them. My polyclinica specifically has English-speaking doctors, so it works. Though the one doctor will charge me an exam fee just to pass me on to another doctor who I haven't been charged at all by. So it's quite interesting. I don't know what's up there. But yeah, I really like the medical stuff out here. Some of these, like Canada won't even cover, which is mainly just ambulance rides. They just don't, because that's a private company that typically owns the ambulance. So then you pay them directly for any care that you were given. While out here, the ambulances all come from polyclinicas or from the hospitals themselves. And they just deliver you to whatever the closest hospital is, so you're not paying a large amount of money. Hi guys, I just wanted to give you a really quick update on something that I just ended up learning. So I ended up switching my general practitioner just quite recently, and he kind of enlightened how the insurance works out here. And so, because mainly what I asked is I was asking him for like if he could write me a prescription for birth control and whatnot. And he advised that anything for my reproductive health, I have to go to a gynecologist. The same for if I needed anything for my skin, I'd have to go to a dermatologist. And basically that's just because since the insurance company is paying for it, if they deem it not necessary for me, then he has to pay for it, which is why you need to go to a specialist so that they don't typically end up asking those questions to the doctor like, oh, did she really need it? Are you sure? XYZ, you need to pay for it. Which I thought was quite interesting, because he was like, if you were to go to a private clinic, you could get whatever you want because you're paying for it. Whereas out here, because the insurance company is paying for it, if the person's not necessarily qualified to be able to prescribe something or know something specifically about you or whatever that you might need, like birth control, like you have to get that from someone who that's their specialty, like a gynecologist, which I thought was just quite weird, because I even like explained to him I'm very used to going to any clinic, seeing any doctor, even though they don't know me, and them just prescribing me whatever I want. Like if I wanted birth control, I could just go to a walk-in clinic, see a random doctor who has no idea who I am. I'm like, yeah, I use the Everpatch. Can I get it, please? And they would do it. They would make me take a pregnancy test and whatnot and whatever, and then they would prescribe it if necessary. But here I have to see a gynecologist due to him, like, due to no one wanting to be paying for my birth control. Which is odd, because I still pay for my birth control out of pocket. Like, it's not covered. So, I don't know. I find that weird. Maybe I'll have to tell him that. I'm like, I end up paying for this myself. I just need a prescription to be able to. But also in Canada, our public insurance doesn't cover prescriptions either. Yeah, I would say it just doesn't. There might be some that it does, but like 99% of them aren't, unless you have your own private insurance, which then just works with the pharmacy and you can get whatever you want. So it's, and then you still pay them like bi-weekly or monthly for it. So it all just depends on what they're willing to cover, but typically you just go and the pharmacy controls all of that and will tell you if it's covered or not. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I might do another year-end update just because they are very slow at putting in invoices into the system. Like it took them till this long to put in majority of that. And they are still missing a bunch in 2019 and a little bit, not so much missing of 2020, but they are definitely missing a lot of 2019. So I might again do a year-end update. I was wanting to do this last year, but they didn't have any information put in at all. Like I had nothing. So they decided to start putting it in recently. So yeah, I'll do a year-end update as well and we'll see what happens and hopefully I don't get injured anymore. But I wouldn't mind to have like shoulder surgery so my shoulder stops dislocating. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!